In the beginning, we were born. Then we grew. Everything we knew was new.
I know we can show our children a better future, one that we would all understand, one that would join us all together in every part, in every land. Our children deserve a better life, to respect and love one another. Oh, let's do it for the children of tomorrow. Take away all the hurt and sorrow. Let's do it for the children of tomorrow. Give them the guidance to follow. I know we can show our children a better future, one that was right and wrong, a new beginning, a new adventure. Show them the ways to be strong. Our children deserve a better life, to respect and love one another. Let's do it for the children of tomorrow. Take away all the hurt and the sorrow. Let's do it for the children of tomorrow, and give them the guidance to follow, to follow, to follow. Let's do it for the children of tomorrow. Do it for the children, and give them the guidance to light their way. Give them the guidance to light their way. Let's do it for the children of tomorrow, and take away all the hurt and the sorrow. Take it away. Let's do it for the children of tomorrow, and
Rawr.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Schmucker Security Podcast. Tonight's guest is Stephen Sparks, and he is not only a boxer and a motivational speaker, he's also an actor who's in one of my close friends' films coming out, and we're going to have a nice little discussion with him about where he started at and how he got to where he's at now and why his friends call him Captain America. Welcome to the show, Stephen.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
I appreciate it. You're my fifth guest, and I appreciate you taking the time out to want to come on my show and help each other build more up. And, you know, especially with you being a boxer, I very much relate with that one. And your story leading up from where you were to where you are today is something I want you to talk about because I can relate to that too. I just don't have the same history you do of the struggles and the issues you went through to get where you are today and what you've learned in that process. But I have a similar story that I can relate to 100%.
Right.
So tell us where you're from, what you currently do right now, and then give us a little history about what got you to where you are.
Yeah. So currently I'm a personal trainer, nutritionist, actor out of Mount Airy, Maryland. I try to, help as many people as I can with that. That's what I really love doing the most is really just getting the chance to help people. What was the other part of your question?
What led you to where you are today? You know, what were the struggles and the issues you went through to find the platform where you needed to be at?
So I guess you can say my story started the day after my 12th birthday. I was at a basketball practice and dislocated my knee for the first time. That happened probably 30 more times before they realized what was wrong with my knees.
Wow.
Between those times and all the dislocations and trauma, they would have to go in and repair torn ligaments. And then one time they didn't know what was wrong with me, so they pulled my quad down over my kneecap to help stabilize it. So after 17 different knee surgeries, they were finally like, "Oh, we found out that you were born with a genetic defect that they weren't sure where it came from, but it caused my tibias to grow in crooked, so my kneecaps weren't tracking properly. So what they had to do was go in, cut my tibias, and screw them into the right place. So I have 2 9-inch screws in each knee, and they also had to replace every ligament, tendon, and cartilage there is. So yeah, I had both knees rebuilt and replaced pretty much when I was 16, 17 years old. I spent probably roughly 4 to 6 months in a wheelchair after those because I wasn't allowed to be weight bearing on any of those. During that time, though, was probably the roughest point because of all the surgeries and all the pains that they were putting me on. I was taking a lot of pain medication that leads to a road of addiction because having to use it so much. And, at 16, 17 years old, they're sending me home with bottles of morphine. So I was getting some pretty strong stuff at a young age. Yeah, that'll do it. But the worst part about all that was stuck inside of a room by myself for so long. It's like almost being in a prison cell. I couldn't leave. Really couldn't even get out of bed because I was so messed up and crippled from the surgeries. So that was years from 12 to I believe 19 was my last knee surgery. I had spent stuck in my same room, kind of just in my own head with all the drugs flowing through. A lot of pain. I mean, pain that I probably wouldn't wish on, even worst enemies. It was so bad. So yeah, that's where my knee stories kind of started and ended. In between that time, I was a big athlete, super always, as soon as I would hurt my knee one time, my immediate goal was get through physical therapy, right back into how can I get back on a football field or basketball court or in the gym somehow. So I was very always motivated to keep moving and keep pushing forward. Roughly about the time I got to high school, I was a big football player all the way from freshman to junior year. I then had one of my bigger knee accidents where I dislocated both of them. That really took it out of me. So it kind of, I missed my senior year of football and lost all chances that I had at going to college or wherever I wanted to go after that. So when they finally were able to fix both of them, I thought, let me go back into it. I can do this, no problem. I can go play football again. So I gave it a shot. Went to train with a really, high powerful, high coaches, very good coaches. Gave it the best I could, but sometimes you got to realize that you just don't have the legs under you to keep pushing through those big guys.
Yeah, you had the leg strength no more.
Yeah, then the knees don't respond like they, really never. They really responded.
So is that something that led you? Is that what led you into getting into boxing?
Yeah, that actually, because once I lost all chances at playing, football, which was like the original sport love for me, I had to ask the doctors, I was like, what can I do? I got to stay active somehow. And I was like, can I box? He said, yeah, that'd be good. Let's go try boxing. So I was like, all right, cool. So when I started boxing, I was actually very fat. I was like 350 pounds because being so much pain meds and in bed for months and years at a time, can't really move. And, I was pretty good as a bigger guy, bigger heavyweight. But once I got to the higher levels, I was fighting guys that were 6'9", 270 pounds. That really wasn't where I should have been, being only 6'2". So as I was kind of doing that, I was, before I get ahead of myself, there was in that time period when I was a little bit bigger, I had a heart scare as well. So I was diagnosed with viral pericarditis, which is just a heart virus that attacks the outside lining of your heart, and it can cause severe chest pains. So I was getting that checked out, and the doctors diagnosed, they were like, oh, you have what's called left ventricle dysplasia, which means the left side of my heart wasn't pumping enough blood or getting enough blood into my body. So they were going to have to go in and install a defibrillator to my chest. So we were going through all these tests, and in that time period, I was bedridden. It's because if my heart rate got above 120, they warned me that I would be in cardiac arrest and die. So I was no longer allowed to be in the boxing gym, wasn't allowed to do anything. I had to just sit around at the house. And that sucked at the time because still on all those, coming off all those painkillers still, I was very prone to night terrors. And so, waking up in the middle of the night, your heart rate's going to be above 100. And so I was scared to fall asleep a lot. And in that time, I think I can't hear you. And nothing.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was trying to say, you felt like you couldn't win for losing. You was back to deja vu.
Yeah, really. From one bedroom to the next, pretty much. So I wasn't sleeping at all and having all those heart, pains in my chest. It was a scary time thinking that, you could die at any point because your heart's going to give out. Yeah. So going through all the tests, it led up to the point where they said, "Oh no, now your right side is failing as well. So instead of a defibrillator, we got to put a whole new heart transplant in there." And I was like, "Oh my god!" So this is a new surgery. Somewhere I've never been. And then this part always gets me. We're one test away from going into the heart surgery, and the doctors say, "Oh, we're sorry, we misdiagnosed you. You have no heart issue at all." And I was like, "What?" I just spent 4 months on bed rest thinking I'm going to die, chest pains and all, and you say, "No, you're fine." It was, oh my gosh.
I'd have been ready to fight right then and there. I'm ready to knock the doctor out. What?
Yeah, it was such like a bittersweet moment because it was like, oh, that's such a relief. I'm okay, but at the same time, like, what do you mean?
Right. God, I've been so upset.
Oh yeah, it was weird. It was a strange time.
So, did you get back into boxing?
I did. As soon as I left the doctor's office, I went right back to the gym.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, and it didn't last long though, because right into that, I broke what's called the tendon that connects your thumb to your wrist. So it's called a boxer's tear, and what it looks like is when I give a thumbs up, it would go like that. So I'd have a sideways thumb, and I did it twice. So what they had to do is they pulled some tendon out of my thumb, and I was a guinea pig, a joint into my thumb. So I have a robot joint in my thumb now because of all of that too. So on top of all the other surgeries, I had 2 surgeries.
So, being called Captain America, you got a little Tony Stark in you.
Yeah, a little bit. I had got the robot side. After all that, though, I finally felt on the right track, but still a little bit on the bigger side. And my coach told me, "Look, Steve, you're fat, got no confidence in yourself. We got to lose some weight, or I'm never gonna let you fight again." So I was like, "All right, coach, I'll take that challenge." So it took me about a year and a half after all the surgeries and painkillers and everything else. About a year and a half into that, I lost about 150 pounds. Feels really good on the knees. I've kept that off, and because of that weight loss, I was able to really focus on the boxing career. I was a 2-time Golden Gloves champion, nationals. I placed roughly 6th, 7th place in the nationals. Got to represent Washington D.C. in a fight out in Bermuda for against the British Islands. So that was really fun. I tried to kick boxing as far as I could, but with all age and everything, they've been rough. Yeah. So I just try to live it one day at a time, and that's actually the name of one of my clothing lines. Business is Just Living Clothing Co. So try to spread positivity through that way, because that's all I've really been able to do is just kind of keep it.
That's what it's about right there. You lost that weight and you was able to maintain that leg, and then all of a sudden your dreams came true. You were popping everywhere you wanted to be at and doing your thing, and that's a beautiful thing to see.
Just try and just keep it rolling, keep moving somehow.
That's the thing. So, tell me how you got in touch with Cody to be involved in his film.
Oh yeah, Cody. Oh man. So I met Cody through Facebook. I think it was on one of the acting platforms for people looking for roles, and he said he was just looking for a stunt actor. And I was like, well, with fight experience. I was like, well, I have fight experience, and I've always kind of wanted to be in acting because, you watch so many movies while you're bedridden for so many months. It's like, man, I want to do that. You just look up to those. So I took the chance, sent him a message, and he messaged me back saying, yeah, come try it out. And it was a fantastic scene time. Like, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in front of a camera. Just the way it was ran and the awesome stunts they let me do was so much fun.
It sounds
So
cool
yeah, it
right
was.
there.
Cody's a cool dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to fit. We had talked early in the day when he started planning that movie, and I told him, if I could afford to travel down there, I would have been down there. I would have been part of it, but it was just so hard to travel. I got 4 kids and a full-time job, so it's hard.
Yeah, that is rough, but you're living a good life. So
I'm trying.
you got to, that's good. That's awesome. Right.
I'm filming a movie too, just like he is. That's how we know each other. I'm filming a Friday the 13th tribute movie called Jason in Indianapolis.
Oh, that's awesome. Man, if it was closer, I'd come out for it.
Hey, I'd have you. Hey, watching you do your thing, I'd take myself out the damn film and let you be Jason because you got the size for it.
Oh, no, I would. It was on. That'd be a dream come to be a horror.
Hey, well, I've got more coming up in the future, so maybe we could talk down the road sometime about that.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'm always down for traveling. Unless I love to get out and see the world.
So, tell me why they call you Captain America.
So I got that nickname from fighting. When I lost weight, I had to find something that kind of made me stick out so I could build a name character for myself tickets. And I just started wearing all these different superhero shirts and like the Under Armour, like whatever. And one day, one of the coaches was like, "You look like Captain America. You should just wear his and just go around saying all that." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot." And when I did, I mean, it just kind of took off. Like I had full suits on, so I was on airplanes traveling. People, Captain America, and they'd all kids be all excited to see me. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is weird." People like over in Bermuda would see me like that's all they call me, Captain America, and it was just kind of like a off on its own thing.
That's good stuff right there.
Actually, I even have a little.
All right, that's cool right there. So,
Yeah.
tell our guests what you what you got for yourself in the future, what you got planned, any other film work, any competitions coming up, doing things with your program.
Yeah. So in the future, I got a few things coming up. Looking to eventually make a pro debut for boxing. Just working through existing pains and injuries that I have to find that good groove that I can hold that training to make it to that next level. That's been that's the next challenge that I'm really focused on. I'm doing more work with Cody in the upcoming Crow movie or Days of Sodom. And then let's see, I have another movie coming out. Actually, it came out. It's called The Veteran. You can check that out on Tubi TV. Also looking to try to get on some TV shows to continue the acting career. Hopefully that one will take off soon too. And let's see, I think that's the full agenda coming up. Trying to stay ready for the next fight.
That's what it's all about right there, to keep the fight going. So, as a trainer, what do you
try to fight one through each?
So as a trainer, what's the normal regimen for you for the daily routine for a training?
Like my personal training?
Yeah.
So my day starts not super early. I don't super early, but I finish late. I'll start every day with like some HIIT cardio because of my knees. I can't really do the road work like you would think most professional boxers do. So I do about 45 minutes of HIIT to 30, HIIT workouts, burpees, push-ups, all body weight fun stuff. that, I'll probably do about 10 to 20 minutes of abs to really make sure I can take the good body shots, because ain't nothing worse than a well-placed body shot.
Boy, right there in the
After
side.
that, I'll probably, oh yeah, them liver shots are the worst. After probably take a few minutes, hour break, and then I get into heavy boxing cardio where I'll do 7 rounds of jump rope, 7 rounds of shadow boxing, 7 rounds of a double end bag, and 7 rounds of a heavy bag. I call it my slot machine workout. It's just all 7. Normally by then I'm pretty tired. So I got to take a couple hours off. And after that, I'll probably like hiking through these trails that I've carved out at the gym. The gym has like 10 acres of woods, and me and one of my guys have gone through, clear trails out. So we'll do hiking trails, some people over the hills and stuff. So I get, some decent walking cardio in too. I will sometimes nights come home, and probably about 3 times a week we'll do yoga, just on an app on my phone. And then after that, I spend about an hour or 2 coming up with new designs or kind of catchy slogans to put on, new shirts and t-shirts and everything for my clothing line. And in any kind of way I can to message people that are looking for a personal trainer, or some just looking to get into like a new healthy lifestyle. And then I try to just advertise to them to help them as best as I can.
That sounds like a dynamic platform that you have going. At least you keep yourself busy.
Yeah, I keep a got to keep myself busy, or I'll go a little stir crazy. I think sitting around for too many of my early years got me up and ready to go for these next few years.
That's how I was, when I said that I read your story that I found and got a little info, but I didn't want to spoil it for nobody. I wanted you to tell it. And you touched on being bedridden, feeling like you were in prison. That's where I can relate with you, because, that's where my humble beginnings of an adult started at, was wrong crowd, wrong place, trying to fit in. Ended up in and out of jail and went to prison, and I was in isolation for 2 years. And you go stir crazy. You do. The 4 walls close in on you. You ain't got nothing to do. It's sleep, get up, and that's it. And so that's where I would relate to you, was where you said, everything just felt like a prison because I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't get up. I can't go nowhere. I'm stuck. And getting to where you are is a beautiful story to see you going through all these surgeries and all this physical therapy for your knees and your knee replacements, and having to learn to walk again and put strength on them. And now you're going around the world boxing, Bahamas, and all over the place. And that's something that just speaks volumes for motivation to come from that sort of situation where a lot of people are just going to take what comes and goes with it and live their life, to where you took what came and said, nah, I'm not going to let this beat me down. I'm tougher than this. And you've proved that by doing what you've done. And like with my wife, until I met her, I was like the dumbest person ever, because I just didn't give a care. I kept getting in trouble. And then since I've met her, I've went from doing meaningless jobs that I could get all the way up to filming a movie, doing security for celebrities, doing videos and photography for WWE legends, and just all kinds of little fun stuff that 4 years ago I'd have smacked you in the face, said we can't be friends because there ain't no way in hell I'm going to do this stuff. And yet here I am. And I look at that, and that's what when we want to get on these podcasts and start talking to people, because everybody's got a story to tell. And when you reached out, I was like, yeah, I won't put him on here, because he's got a story that can make people sitting back feeling sorry for themselves and looking and being like, man, I had this and I got nothing. but then see your story and be like, well, hell, if he can do it, I can do it. And that's the goal for this is,
Right.
to reach out and do that and motivate others to chase a dream. You get an idea in your head, don't give up on it. When you get to that dead end, back up and find another way to get around it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the hardest thing to do is you just gotta try. Just take it as far as you can. When you reach that limit of your peak, at least you went and did it. You have a good story to tell. When you're old, I was like, when I'm old, triple again on my crippled deck and say, hey, at least I tried everything I wanted to in life. I can walk out of this world saying, I gave it a shot.
That's it. You gave it a shot. Since in 10 months,
that's what keeps me rolling through.
that's it. My family keeps me going, and that's I keep on trying to find ways to do things to keep on getting a motivation. I did this. I acted one time, and I decided to keep it going, and I couldn't find nothing. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna do it myself." And I didn't know nothing about nothing. And now here I am. I've done shot 2 scenes. I got a whole bunch of actors. I got a movie halfway put together. And I've done it all on my own by playing with the programs and learning how to do everything. And now I got a team helping me. And, just to sit back and say, you started somewhere and you never thought you'd get to this point because you were just looking to do something fun. And then now it's serious and you're educating yourself. You're meeting new people. Other ideas come to your head and let's try it. This podcast was, like I said, is a fifth episode. And I talked to all kinds of people, wrestlers, celebrities, authors. I talked to all kinds of people. I should get some of these people I talk to all the time onto my show and then get others to want to be on there to have stories to tell, because this can go places. And so, your idea of boxing, when I started boxing, I did it to do it, but I had a blind eye. They wouldn't let me do anything but practice, train, and spar. And I got to be in the ring sometimes over here with some names when I was young before I went to jail. And it was fun, and it was, I want to be him, but I'm never going to be this person. And that kind of led me into being rebellious because I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And now here I am doing this, and I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it, and I want to continue doing it. So I found something to keep me out of trouble, and this is it. And people like you is what motivate people like me to want to keep going.
Right. The feeling is mutual too, because you're trying to better your life, and that's one of the things I find the most admirable, attractive in terms of like general, just why people is their resilience to just go after what they want the most in life. Those are the people I'm drawn to the most, or that say, what, this past stuff has happened, but I got something to look forward to. So those are the kind of people I find the best to be around, like yourself.
Maybe one of these days we'll get together and we'll come up with something to do to make it memorable to share with everybody, that can be something that's just unique. We can all get together and do something one of these days.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Maybe your next movie, I'll come out to Indianapolis. I've never been out there, so I'll come check it out, shoot a couple scenes, and make the magic happen.
Hey, I'd be more than willing to have you out.
That sounds good.
Well, it's coming up on 30 minutes, so you ready to close out?
Yeah, I think we got pretty much everything good, nicely covered.
I'll make sure to include some of your content at the end of the podcast, as well as a way to get in touch with you if anybody wants to reach out and try to get in touch and ask some questions or possibly book you for something, because I got a lot of people watching, so never know what could happen.
Yeah. Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It was great being on your show. I look forward to hopefully again coming on with that one, have a few more extra roles. Maybe I'll Captain America will be more known throughout America.
Yeah, hey, I'll keep track, and then if something big happens, reach out to me, and I'll bring you back on.
Definitely. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight and taking their time out to listen to Steven talk about being a boxer, being an actor, going through some tremendous struggles as a teenager and missing out on his last golden years as a teenager, but now coming into his adult life, he's knocked the wind out of it because he's doing something that keeps him going every day, and he loves it. And so I'd like you guys to follow him, give him some support. Feel free to reach out to me to get his information if you have a good enough reason to, and I'll make sure that I'll reach out to him. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Thank you.
Are you gonna spread love or hate?